Hopefully I don't choke when something.
Oh,
Hey,
We're here.
good. We're back.
We're back. We're
back.
here. We're live in Montreal. We're live in our studio, in our brand new studio. In the studio.
New studio. Who this?
Who
right?
dat?
Who that palette?
That is a palette. That is also a coffee table.
It's got coasters.
Yo, I want a coffee
recognize
table.
this,
one of
but
those.
also,
Yeah.
not a-
I
not
need
picture
a
frame.
coffee
That is
table
actually
palette.
a video screen.
It's
We're not
so-
going to make use
goes
of
so
it
hard.
today because we literally just got it installed. Streams in the future. We're going to be having a lot of fun with a lot of these. They look like static picture frames. But
What if I was in the locker?
really excited for us to have this as a resource here in our own studio in Montreal, so we can do more stuff here, including videos that you do all the time, interviews, whatever. So yes, hello, welcome. There are a lot of you out there. Thank you for joining us. This is actually our second live stream of the month of May. Earlier, we were at PAX East in Boston, where also a bunch of people showed up in person, which was an incredible delight to meet so many people I only knew as online names, and to ham it up in front of a live audience was pretty fun. So we just wanted to say thank you for that. That was our first big live event in a long time, and y'all showed up. So hopefully that means we can do more. And the only negative of that event, we were not joined by Dork
Yes.
due to visa
Yeah,
issues.
first part.
Yeah, it was really sad to be watching from the sidelines, but the hype in that room was electric. Like even being at home, but just rooting you guys, that was just amazing. So I truly hope that maybe in the future I'll be able to meet you guys in person. But for now, let's get into today's live stream, which we're talking about part 2 of our anniversary live stream with the Dead by Daylight Five Nights at Freddy's official live stream. And today, especially at PAX, you guys got a little taste about what was coming with this chapter, but now we're going to be talking about the map, the new gameplay, and the anniversary event, which is right around the corner.
We just gave them an app, and now they're getting
Let's
the
go.
full pizza.
Yeah, the new full pizza.
So
Pizza.
if you are new to Dead by Daylight,
love
which I suspect
pizza.
some of you are,
I
there are a
love
lot of people
pizza.
here. I'm looking at the wrong camera. Hello, camera 2.
Hi.
If you're new to Dead by Daylight, I just want to quickly explain what's going on today. We're doing our stream, obviously, and generally we try to do these when we have either a release of the full chapter or, as is the case today, a PTB. If you don't know what PTB is, public test battle.
Battle.
What it is a test tool for us on the development team. Truly, it's a chance for us to get the build out early, find some rough edges, anything that might not be working, and get it up to gear, up to snuff for the full release, which is
Snuff.
coming on June
Snuff the
17th.
boon.
So I just wanted to set the stage for you in case you didn't know what PTB is, because we'll mention it a few times. But that is planned to go live as soon as we wrap up the show here today, if we time it perfectly. So stay tuned.
Yes.
All right. So Five Nights at Freddy's is our most requested chapter of all time. You have wanted this for a long time. FNAF fans have wanted it for a long time. DBD fans have wanted it for a long time. I have wanted it for a long time. Now it's actually happening. So let's not delay any longer. We'll show you what's coming in the show today with the run of show. So we're going to kick things off with a segment that you've been waiting for, Five Nights at Freddy's gameplay. playing
Final
as Springtrap.
Masquerade.
And helping us out,
Wait,
we're gonna have
what?
Jason Guzzo back with us to talk about Springtrap's gameplay, but also
No.
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza map.
You can't
Yes, and
do
then
that.
Next, I'll be joined on the couch with Justin Banks.
It makes
who's gonna
sense,
break
there's
down
really not
this year's
any
anniversary
masks.
event and show us everything that's going to be
I mean,
happening
if they-
for this last
okay.
Twisted Masquerade. Then we'll have a new face on the couch, which is going
'Cause,
to be Hollis.
after the
from
last
product
Masquerade
team, who's
with,
gonna be
like, all the
running
original
through
characters
the
we
latest
had left,
collections that'll be
there were,
rolling
like,
to the fog
six,
here in a
five
couple of
survivors,
months.
and
then after that, Eric and I will be back on the couch to talk about
I don't know
the
about
Dead by
this.
Daylight Creator Program, which I know a lot of our content creators out there are at the edge of their seats waiting to
Me.
hear news about.
Me.
So stay tuned.
And we also have another thing to share with you that is new. Maybe you saw it in your news yesterday in the game. Little spoiler. We're going to be talking about the extremely cool new Dead by Daylight stats tracker that's coming up. We're going to be able to look at your in-game stats and progress as you play, which is really neat.
Yes, I cannot wait to see how many times I've died. After that, well, obviously, it's wouldn't be a Dead by Daylight live stream without having some Twitch drops. And we're going to have 3 amazing
Wait,
Twitch
what the
drops
fuck?
for players to go
Wait,
ahead
what?
and redeem on Twitch. So
That's
make sure you're
not
looking
what
at the
was
Twitch
there.
chat or looking at the QR code to go ahead and make sure you're linking your behavior account so that you're not
What?
missing it. It starts today.
What?
up until
Wait.
June 10th, but maybe
Genova, you
Erica,
lied
wanna
to
tell
me.
us what we're gonna get?
That's what I got the
do,
screenshot of.
although I don't know that it matches
Wait, wasn't
the
that posted?
image. So
Yeah, that's
we
what
have
I'm
3 drops for you, but actually the first drop is a combo. You're gonna
Wait.
get blood points as well as a smiling clown badge. Sorry, I don't. What I have,
Okay, so
what
I'm
I have
not
written down
freaking
versus
out.
what's in that image are not.
I'm
the same thing. So
confused.
we're gonna learn together.
We were supposed to get a Maurice charm.
Smiling Clown Badge, 200,000 blood points bundled together for
Okay,
watching
there
1
we
hour. A Clown Den banner for watching
Okay.
3 hours. And a pin the tail on the Maurice charm for anyone who accumulates 6 hours of watch time. Oh, Maurice, how I miss thee.
I miss him. I have to do my little
guys are
head pats
hateful.
at the map.
I know. I hope he returns
Yeah.
to us soon.
Taking
Before we
Maurice
dive in,
again.
one last
miss
thing we did want to
Maurice.
mention if you've been around for a few weeks. We're running a charity program at the moment, which I've been so psyched about, tied to Aurella's release. And it has already, well, it's finished, but it has over $200,000.
Oh my God.
And that's before the multiplier that we're still calculating right now.
Let's go, Arella.
Thank you to everyone who contributed to that charity. It's going to a really great cause, the Saint Justine Foundation here in Montreal, to help kids and their moms. So thank you, thank you. We'll announce the final number when we have it from the numbers people, but it is well over $200,000, so crazy.
That's a lot of money.
Okay, without further ado, let's talk about Five Nights at Freddy's, playing a Springtrap, and bring out our dear friend Jay Guzzo, the killer's designer.
Let's go. I'm still gonna hit him with a pallet. Fuck that killer.
What is happening?
What do you mean? I'm scared. Hello? Is anybody there?
Jesus.
Oh my gosh. That was horrifying.
Whoa! I was waiting for Jay to tell us when we're ready, but we're live. See, we told you it's live. You didn't believe us. Okay, so hi, Jay.
Hi.
So from the time that we announced that Five
Look,
Nights at
his little
Freddy's is coming to
plushie.
Dead by Daylight, obviously the excitement has been off the charts for Five Nights at
Where's
Freddy's
my naughty
fans,
bear
for
plushie?
DBD fans, for myself, maybe you, and you know, people are speculating. Who's the killer going to be? Are we going to get a map, et cetera, et cetera? We answered those things in a high-level way at PAX a few weeks ago. Indeed, we will have a killer, Springtrap. For the first time ever, you get to play as Springtrap instead of be terrorized by Springtrap. Well, if you're a survivor, you'll still be terrorized. And also, we'll be bringing in a new map. So Jay has
I'm so
come here to
excited for
join
the
us.
map. Oh my goodness.
And if you have
like
watched streams before, you
everything.
would
I
know
love
Jay
Five
from
Nights at
such
Freddy's.
hits as Chucky and also Dracula. Jay is the killer designer on both of those, as
Dracula?
well as Springtrap. So
My
Oh my
dad?
God.
I'm
The
doing
father.
great. I'm excited to be here.
I'm also excited for you to be.
They
here.
created your father.
So let's get into it.
Thank you for creating my
so As
father.
I mentioned, you worked on some pretty iconic.
Does that mean you're my
licenses
father?
already? So
your
when you were assigned
grandfather.
Five Nights at
Oh, you're my
Freddy's,
grandfather.
what was it like when you first started working on that chapter?
It was really interesting. I didn't have a lot of experience with it.
Hey,
Excuse me.
Delilah.
My throats are a little dry today.
I feel
I
that.
was obviously aware of it. I mean, everybody is. It's become so iconic in such a short period of time. But I'm going to be honest, I didn't really
You're
realize how
iconic,
kind of
Grandpa.
the lore and the story went
Yes.
before I started kind of looking into this chapter. So it's been cool, and like the story is way more horrifying when I ever thought it would be, to be honest.
Oh yes, despite how cute it is, very horrifying. And actually, I think that's a very initial common ground DBD fans and FNAF fans will have. Deep lore on both games, much more than you'd expect. And once you dig in, it's really cool stuff, and it goes, like you said, it goes places.
Yeah.
So I guess the way you mentioned it, sounds like you had to do a lot of research to get up to speed.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. You know, one of my favorite things about doing licenses like this is they give me an excuse, I guess, a reason to become like a real big nerd about one specific franchise or IP. And that's always amazing. You know, Chucky, I got to watch all the movies, and Dracula, we played the games and watched stuff. So this one, I did the same thing. I jumped in. My main thing was YouTube and Twitch, watching streams. I watched 60 to 70 hours of content of some of the more popular streamers, I guess we can say, all through all the games, including the VR stuff and things. You know, not just to see the games and how they played, but also players, how they react, the community, how they react, getting the inspiration for the experience of FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's, excuse me.
Yeah, and I think that's a really special thing. You didn't just tackle it from a mechanics point of view. You wanted to understand the community. You wanted to understand the players, make them feel as welcome in DBD as possible. Dead by Daylight, sorry. No, we're gonna be doing this a lot. It's just quicker to use acronyms. So I think that's a great touch. So any surprises you found along the way as you were doing that?
Yeah, I mean, this won't be a surprise to most people, but it was to me, was, like I said, just how passionate the community is. They're like you said, it's very similar to DBD in that respect of like very passionate fans and very passionate community. People who kind of, they watch the trailers and they watch gameplay and they pixel peep.
Oh, yeah.
And they kind of start stringing things together, and I imagine there's at least a few Five Nights fans with like the boards with pictures and the string all over them.
Yes, which Jay, you're kind of famous for with Dracula. Hand drew some meme-worthy art, so maybe we'll have some
Nice.
more. But yeah, they're probably picking apart our outfits as we speak. Like, what does it mean? I just wanted people to see my cool new mint-colored shoes. That's all.
I just wanted people to see. I don't know if I can show it. My daughter bought
Wait, those are
Freddy
goated.
Fazbear
Those are
socks
cute.
for Christmas.
Got Freddy on the feet. Likewise, my son gave me his Freddy plush for good luck today. So we are loving it over here. So before we jump into the gameplay, why don't you tell us about how you started to approach the design of Springtrap?
Yeah, it was a really interesting one because obviously, if you know both games, gameplay-wise, they're pretty diametrically opposed. Five Nights at Freddy's is really about sitting still. You manage resources, particularly the battery, and try not to get killed. Whereas DBD is all about moving around, doing the gens. If you sit still, you're gonna get yourself
Not a
killed.
good strategy.
It's not a great idea. So it really became about kind of nailing down what the quintessential Five Nights at Freddy's experience is. Things like the security office, the battery power, all those amazing jump scares, and
No,
just
thank
kind
you.
of figuring out how to adapt that into the context of DBD.
You can take that
Perfect.
jump
So
scare
with that
and put it back
transition,
in
let's get
the.
into Springtrap
take it out of the
specifically
programming.
and his gameplay.
Yeah.
But
So
Sophie wasn't
one of the
programmed hard
goals
enough.
for Springtrap was to figure out how to lean into those jump scares, which are kind of the thing about the Five Nights at Freddy's games,
No.
right?
Please stop.
Without making him just a straight up stealth killer, which was something we wanted to avoid. So I had this idea of doing something that we'd never really tried before, where we focus Springtrap kind of as a grab-based killer, because we have grabs in DBD. They are
Ooh, look at that
inherently
model.
jump scares into themselves.
Gorgeous.
It's right there. So we just kind of leaned into that and gave him more of those opportunities.
Beautiful.
There he is right there on screen, by
there
the
he
way.
is, yeah.
I think we even have another one of him doing a little bit of a grab.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh God, that's
Oh.
so
And
cool.
we gave him a
No,
pre-made
thank you.
projectile, which is really cool. So Springtrap has 2 weapons. I get to finally announce. I know the community have been talking about it. So he has a large pizza knife as his main weapon, and a heavy fire axe as his power.
Oh, the fire axe. So let's talk about the axe. How do you use the axe? How's it different from projectiles that other characters in Dead by Daylight use?
Yeah, so it's a very unique. It's not going to play like any other projectile killer that you've tried before. We wanted to do something a little bit interesting with it. So if you throw the axe and it hits something in the environment, whether it's a missed shot or it's deliberate. It creates an AoE that lasts about 15 seconds. And if a survivor walks through it, you get Killer Instinct on them for a short period of time. If you hit a survivor with it, kind of gets lodged in their back while you're chasing.
Kind of have an axe lodged in their back.
Just a
No
little
big
bit.
deal.
So they can remove it manually, or they can do it quicker in co-op with another survivor. As Springtrap, you can also retrieve it yourself if you get in close. You can skip kind of the steps of downing the survivor and picking them up. You get in close to a survivor that has the axe embedded in them. You click the button, you grab the axe and the survivor at the same time. You get a cool little jump scare, and then you're carrying them on your shoulder.
No.
Couple little notes. One
No
of them
jump
is,
scare.
while you have your projectile available,
Oh, look at
There's
that.
A little glimpse of some
That
jump
looks
scares.
sick.
but
That's
once
so
you've thrown
cool.
the axe, you actually move at 4.6
Aha.
meters per second. It's something that we've never really done base kit for a killer. It makes for some really interesting tactical
I
choices.
love that.
Meaning that you have to recall the axe manually. It never comes
Still
back
hit
to
him
you
with the
automatically,
pallet.
unless you throw it out of the map. You can make a mistake. But yeah, as long as it's in the environment or in a survivor or whatever it is, you have to manually recall it.
So it lightens his load a little bit, makes him a bit faster.
Exactly.
Perfect. So that brings us to another unique part of his gameplay, and I think super iconic to Five Nights at Freddy's, the security office. So let's get into that.
Yeah. So it was really important for us to give the killer and the survivor a really kind of interesting shared experience in that space, which allowed us to also lean into the jump scares. And some of the ways we came up
Stop
with was
saying
to
that
introduce
word.
the security office, which is part of any trial that Springtrap is the killer. It's part of his power, but it acts as kind of a transitionary space. So we have 7 doors that appear randomly
Seven
around the map at
doors.
chest spawns. And
Love
these can
it.
be used by survivors or killers to teleport around the map.
Yeah, there be a door.
There it is. And survivors can also use them for surveillance. So as a survivor, you interact with the door. It brings up the camera view. You'll get the kind of iconic map view in the bottom right of all the different cameras. On the bottom left, you'll see your battery power, which we'll talk about in a second. You can see what's going on in the other doors. You can switch between doors. If you see something that, if it looks safe on the other end, you press the button. Your character goes into the security office, and then it's kind of like a hands-off, almost like a theme park experience where you see this first-person view going through the office, which is really cool.
And one thing you mentioned, again, just in case
Well,
we
that's
have
not
new
good for
folks playing,
accessibility.
regardless of what map you're playing on, this
Yes.
functionality, the security room will be there as
Also-
long as Springtrap is the killer. in
They're
the
switching
match.
FOV.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
As a survivor, if you happen to see Springtrap through a camera, if you train your camera on him for a few seconds, he'll be revealed for a little bit for the whole survivor team.
Nice. And what about if, like, what if Springtrap goes in at the same time as a survivor goes in at a different door and they meet?
Yeah, so since they can both use the doors in the security office,
Yeah.
we wanted to make sure that there was an opportunity for that interaction. So if a survivor is moving through that space from one door to the other, and Springtrap, excuse me, chooses one of those 2 doors, whether the one they're coming from or the one they're going to, he'll interrupt them in the security office for a fun little surprise.
I don't think I like that. I think you can take
I
that
love all the
surprise
little
and
touches
shove
that
it
the
up
team has planted in
someplace.
there like that. I think the fans are really
Take
gonna
those
love
jump
it.
scares out of here,
Including
please.
this, you mentioned the battery. Managing the battery is part of this as well. So how's that work in DBD?
Yeah, so survivors share a universal battery. It's shared amongst all of them. It drains a little bit, kind of ticks down per second while you're using the cameras. We didn't want players to just be the man in the chair and just sitting there and telling all their friends. So it drains a little bit using the teleporter to move around the map, takes off a big old chunk in one shot, and then you have to kind of manage that battery as a team. It slowly recharges on its own over time, but you have to kind of manage when and where you're using it. If the battery does run out, the security system, which is kind of the doors, the cameras, the office, goes into shutdown mode for 45 seconds. But Springtrap is not affected by the battery. So if the survivors have kind of overplayed their hand and they shut the security office down, they've kind of given up their one bit of power in this chapter, and Springtrap can still use the doors and bounce around and do whatever he wants.
Dangerous.
Oh,
Fantastic. But what about disabling the doors?
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah. So to go back to the axe, if the killer hits a either a camera or a door, the whole thing. With their axe, that door and the camera becomes unavailable to survivors. They can't use it to teleport away, they can't teleport to that door, and they can't see through the camera that's been disabled.
Got it.
When the killer retrieves it, that effect lingers a little bit. It becomes a really cool way of like, I need to scope this area out, but I don't want to be revealed or seen. You can disable the door, move around, use it to fake the survivors out.
Got it. But it's not permanent. The door can be used again after the axe has been retrieved. Cool.
Unless it's in shutdown, which means the survivors can't use it anyway.
Right. Cool. Okay. So speaking about moving around the map, which it sounds like we have a new exciting way to do that. One of the coolest things about the chapter, in fact, is the map. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is now a new map, a new level within Dead by Daylight for DBD fans, specifically in the Withered Isle realm. So what can you tell us about the map?
Yeah, so the art team and the level design team, much like me, they did a ton of research. And like, I don't say this just because we're doing the stream here, but it's becoming one of my favorite maps. I love it so much. In the same way that we worked hard at kind of integrating a lot of opportunities for jump scares into the killer gameplay, their team really wanted to make sure that they did the same when it comes to things like Easter eggs and scares around the map. So it really pays off if you're kind of an exploratory player a little bit.
No scares.
So are there some areas that you want to shout out that Five Nights at Freddy's fans might recognize?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot. You'll see a lot of small references and stuff, but obviously we've recreated a lot of kind of the iconic areas from the game. But we're also letting you exit the pizzeria to explore the outside a little bit, which is really cool. And we wanted to kind of add a little bit more space to allow for more dynamic chases and whatnot. Yeah. But for the rooms, we've got the lobby, we've got the dining hall, of course, with the full animatronic band on stage. It's very cool. And we have the arcade, which is, it's all very kind of creepily decorated like a birthday party. And we have areas like the kitchen and even the mechanical room, which is cool. And
we can see a little glimpse right there too.
Yeah. So altogether, this should kind of feel like a formerly working pizzeria. Yes. And of course, since it's Dead by Daylight, the entity's weird pustules and deformations are everywhere to remind you exactly of where you still are and
you're
where
making
you're
a judgment call on those pustules there, Jay.
But if you're a Five Nights at Freddy's fan, I think you're really gonna love the map. They've done a lot of really cool work.
Yeah, it's super fun, and it looks really good too. The art team did knock it out of the park. But also with Springtrap wandering around, it's like a terror. And I think for Five Nights at Freddy's fans, like, whoop, you're going to be in familiar territory.
Yeah.
So one other nice thing that we did mention on the PAX broadcast, but I do want to mention it again, we're going to have a separate queue for this map specifically, which means you want to go to the game and you just want to check out the map. Normally, in the past, you'd be in the general rotation of maps and all that. Now you can go straight in just to the pizzeria without having to hope that you get there. So it's going to be its own queue when you join the game.
Yeah, and that's a feature that's going forward with any chapter with a new map.
Perfect.
They'll have a unique queue for that new map.
These poor killers and their queue times.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be sad.
How about some last tips
Yep.
for survivors and for killer players?
Yeah, so for the killer, as Springtrap, get used to the arc of the projectile. As I said, it's super unique. Compared to other projectile killers, we've done something that really allows you to kind of pull off some pretty gnarly trick shots. We've seen some really interesting ones on our internal playtest. It's been super fun. So test that out, get used to it, and take advantage of the jump scares.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're playing with your friends, hearing them shout in your ear is always a great time. Yes. But for survivors, take advantage of the cameras and the doors. It may seem a little unsafe because you can be interrupted or whatever, but they're really valuable tools if you get used to them and you use it to reveal the killer and kind of scoping out the area. You'll get more of an advantage out of them than I think you realize at first.
Heck yeah.
But yeah.
Well, Jay, thank you so much, as
Thank you.
always, for joining us on the couch with your wonderful work and the fun stuff that you've planted in there. Soon enough, people will get to play around with it. I know you're going to be glued to your Twitch screen so you can watch people play it and test it out. Thank you so much for joining us. The show must roll on. So next, we're going to bring out our friend Justin Banks to fill you in on DBD's anniversary event that's right around the corner.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, bye.
But.
Bu-bu-bu-bu.
No, not the final. You can't do this. No, you can't say later.
Oh, I think that's how Wraith. I think that's Wraith in the picture. In the mirror.
You can't do this to me. Stop it. Stop.
It's so weird.
They take everything away.
It's time to move on, so you're gonna get
I'm not-
something new.
I'm not good with change.
Well, I don't have any like dollar bills.
Well, give me your money.
No.
You're supposed to say what money?
Listen, I'm not trying to expose them.
I can't believe they're taking it away.
It's the final masquerade.
No, what did it end? I did not play along with that. No, you didn't hear that.
I heard it.
Okay, so one of oh my god, my throat. I died.
Me too, honestly.
One of the
That's
cool
me for
things,
real.
for Dead by Daylight that makes me really excited around this time of year is that there's always something to celebrate. And this year is no different. Because not only are we welcoming in Five Nights at Freddy's to the Fog, but also our anniversary event is right around the corner. So, what better way to party and welcome back the anniversary event and get ourselves nice and warm by the fire than with Justin Banks?
Thank you, Dork. I'm really happy to be back with all you guys out there. It's another Masquerade, another year where they dust me off, take me out of the locker, and get ready to talk to you guys about what is happening for this year's Masquerade.
But I'm still in the locker.
Yeah, and I'm super excited to hear
Well,
how we're going
he's
to be
out of
partying it up
locker.
in this year's anniversary event.
Yeah, so there's lots of stuff going on, and it's a special one because, as I think you saw by the title just before, after 4 years, this is going to be our final Masquerade. We have lots of laughs, lots of fun, and the response to all of the gameplay, the cosmetics, the aesthetics have all been incredible since we got this party started. So our
So
final
pretty.
Masquerade event is actually going to start in about a month and run from June 25th to July 16th. While we're sad to see it go, I mean, it was a really fun theme that we worked on internally. We've had a gas working on it every single year, but we're going to close out with one last big hurrah before moving on to something completely brand new for our 10th anniversary next year. So I don't want to hype, I don't want to tease, but come back a year from now and we're going to have something really special for you.
I'm
But I'll
really
see you in a
excited to
year.
see what we come up with.
Right.
But also when in terms of actual gameplay, when we're talking about the return of Twisted Masquerade, is it true that the team decided to work on fine-tuning what we've currently got instead of adding new things to the whole shebang?
Yeah, exactly. So there's a few things that we're doing to really focus on the quality of life of the game overall. So you've seen all of you guys out there, I don't even know which camera I'm looking at, that one. All of you guys out there, you've all seen how we're pushing for quality of life. We want to make sure that it's the game that, it's the game you guys deserve. You've stuck with us for such a long time. We're fixing long-standing bugs. We're adding features to just improve your overall experience. And we want that to translate to how we deal with events as well. So we made the decision to focus a lot of our resources on that quality of life and less so on adding to new gameplay features for this final Twisted Masquerade event.
Okay, so in terms of that then, what can players expect to see returning to the Fog with this Twisted Masquerade?
So returning, well, I can just summarize by saying all the really cool stuff that we've done before. Again, it's fun to work on this stuff year after year. So what we have coming back are the invitation powers that are super fun that you can collect as survivor or killer, and you'll have different powers to use their charges for as the match goes on. We are bringing back the bag of tricks that we introduced last year, which creates a random effect on the match, that happens based on the progression of completing generators, accumulated with whatever hook stages are at, to really keep things dynamic, keep it moving. We're also bringing back Father Campbell's chapel, decorated, for the entire party, and it's Still all the same decorations as last year, you know, but we're signaling the party's coming to an end over
dwindling
there.
down.
Yeah.
No,
We'll even
stop.
have a little bit of Five Nights at Freddy's theming showing up in our anniversary lobby.
Okay.
Ooh.
I love the fact that the lobby is going to be like a party.
I'm
in
about
more
to
ways than
cry.
one. Plus all the returning
can
content.
hear it in your
I mean, what's not to love
voice.
there? I cannot wait to
No.
get my hands on my invitation just to cause ruckus. So when you're talking about the quality of life, though, are the players going to be able to experience that in the gameplay with Twisted Masquerade this year?
Absolutely. So when we were looking at how quality of life applies to, let's say, the game as a whole, we're saying, well, there are some elements of events that could work better for a better player experience. So while by and large everything from the event was really well received, we know people enjoy the imitation powers, the bag of tricks, etc. There was one big friction point from last year that we wanted to fix, which was the remote hook power for the
Thank
imitations.
you.
So we've tweaked that a little bit just to apply some quality of life to this event itself, to make sure that as a killer is using it, it's no longer instant. You can't just look at a hook and bam, the survivor goes there.
Okay.
Now what will happen is the survivor has to look at a hook, they'll hold a button for a period of time, and then the survivor will be teleported. And it will also be obvious that the killer is doing this so the survivors have time for their counterplay to make them drop their partner. So
Okay.
we're really hoping that creates some more friendly gameplay, you know, some less abusive elements, and just an overall much better party for everyone to play through.
It's going to be great. I'm really excited for that, yeah.
So in addition to that, last year we pulled back the curtain on our host of the anniversary that, you know, we've shown around in quite a few assets. We showed off last year in, you know, a lot of ways. Our darling Trix. So since this is the last Masquerade, her presence is going to be a little less felt, so you won't hear her or see her as often. And then she'll just be, with the Masquerade, fading away into the fog, you could say.
That's
Oh, that's really
toxic.
sad that we're going to see her fading away, but I understand. At least we get to enjoy her while we still have her.
Yep.
So, with this being the last hurrah, what does
That
this
is
mean for the Twisted
depressing.
Masquerade rewards and outfits?
So this is probably one of my favorite parts to talk about, because when we see these concepts every
I'm
year,
not okay.
it's amazing. These are so creative and fun to work on. So we wanted to use our final Twisted Masquerade as a way to catch up on all original characters who did not previously have a mask or outfit.
Okay.
So what you would see here is that we
I'm gonna
are
miss
adding
her.
masks for any survivors that are originals
Sabo!
that did
No,
not previously
wait,
have
is that a
a mask.
spider?
We've got one for Vittorio,
I saw
Okay.
Arella.
Tori,
Okay.
Sable,
It's just a
Claudette,
spider web.
and
Okay.
Orella.
Everything's fine. Everything's
You're
fine.
And then on
okay.
the killer side, we only had one that's missing a mask, so we have a mask for Houndmaster. And then what we have to
Wait.
supplement that to keep 6 collectible pieces per roll is 5 killer anniversary weapons that look amazing.
The
So for
spirits
that, we've
Look
got
at the
one
spirits.
Trapper, Nurse,
That's my
Huntress,
baby
the
right
Dog.
there. Oh,
Huntress?
Huntress.
Oh my
I
god,
cannot
this
wait
is
to get my hands
sick.
on that spirit
No,
one.
no, no. Spirit's
Yeah, oh my god,
beautiful.
they all look
She's
so,
my
so
main,
damn
my
good.
main
So
baby.
good.
And we've not left out 2 other
she, though?
characters
Is
because
she
those
really?
No, I
are
love
going to get the
Deathslinger.
fully earnable outfits
Okay.
from the event. So we've got David King and the Wraith. So fully
Whoa,
decked
so
out, ready to
nice.
celebrate the party. So with that, we're
That's
catching
silly.
up on all of our original characters,
The Wraith outfit
making
looks
sure that
so good.
everyone is able
Yeah.
to dress for the party for our final Masquerade, which I think is really cool.
It's super cool.
And one thing that we've started to do over the past few years is introduce what I'm calling guests to the party.
Okay.
So some licensed characters who are getting outfits. Now, I don't want to spoil anything, so stay tuned for Hollis's section after, as he shows you who is guest starring
I'm
at the
still
party.
crying.
Okay. And hopefully they've rolled in that 20 on style.
Oh, maybe a spoiler there.
You're gonna miss tricks.
I am.
Okay, so I know a lot of people are going to be thinking about this, myself included. I'm very curious. So when it comes to the time-limited Twisted Masquerade collection and the items, what happens?
So, as we've done for events and event collections in the past, like this one, we have it only available during the period of the event, and then when the event happens again next year, all of the previous iterations come back in the store. Since this is the last Masquerade, what we're doing is going to be a little different. We have to adapt because we don't want these to fade away forever. So we are tentatively planning for these to come back in the store permanently at a certain point in the future, but we can't give specifics exactly when that is going to be.
Okay.
So when this Masquerade ends, everything will disappear. And when we know when they are coming back, we are certainly going to be communicating on it. So players can be aware and they know when they can come back and get any masks they missed, or if
Can
they joined
chicks
us
come
later,
back as a
come in
killer
and pick them up
for
then.
It's
revenge?
gonna be awesome, especially because like this time of year anniversary is like a huge thing. For our
What? She
community.
needs her revenge.
So this is a huge win, I know. But also, aren't we doing something else to make this a little bit more special?
Absolutely. So I was talking about how we want to make sure all of our originals have masks
She'll
or
never be
outfits to celebrate the
forgotten.
party.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to make sure that all of our players have access to all of these originals too to celebrate with. So what we're doing is we're putting all of our original characters on free trial for the entire duration of the event. So if there's a survivor, a killer that you've not ever played before, you've been interested about, pick them up, play them in the normal queue, play them in the event queue, really go nuts. And then if you actually want to keep them, we're going to have some really sick sales going on. So, get them at a really nice price and keep celebrating with them.
Well, that's awesome, Justin. Thank you so much for giving us the full rundown on the anniversary event and the Twisted Masquerade. It's so sad to hear that it's going to be going soon, but we're going to keep it together.
It's going to go out with a bang.
I'm not
At
keeping
least
it
we have that,
together.
right? At least we have that. All right, so
I'm losing my
next up, joining me
shit,
on the couch
Lord.
is going
I'm
to be
losing
a new
it.
face to the stream. So please join me in the chat with a warm welcome for Hollis, who's going to be giving us a full rundown on the latest collections that'll be rolling into the
Oh
fall.
yes, I love cosmetics.
I don't even know what she said 'cause I can't stop.
We're getting cosmetics.
Yay. Yay, but still,
It's okay.
it's really not.
It's okay, Sophie.
I love this event. Okay,
And we're gonna get
And-
something cooler next year. Don't worry.
but we won't have her. Okay, we won't.
It's okay.
It's not.
I have her file, Sophie. It's fine.
You need to make me a beautiful render of her. I want it to be, I want to I love her. It's one of those times you feel like you've taken it for granted,
Okay, it is upcoming collections time, and
Oh,
I
you're a
love
new
talking about
person.
collections. And here with me to talk about them is a new face, our senior live specialist,
Hello,
operations
new
specialist,
face.
Hollis, to give us the full rundown on everything that's going to be coming to the Dead by Daylight in-game store
Hollis,
in
that's
the
a
next
cool
couple of
name.
months. So welcome
It
to the
is.
stream.
Thank you.
So Hollis, how about you go ahead and give us a rundown about your role real quick?
Yeah, so my day-to-day consists mostly of scheduling and setting things up for the in-game store. So stuff you would see like the collection banners, featured outfits, the bundles, weekly gifts, sales, stuff like that. I've also worked on a few of the collections you guys may have seen in the store. So Autumn Fashion, Chrysalis, Noir,
Autumn,
Horrors from
yes.
the Deep, and the Forgotten Myth collection. And on that note, speaking of content creation, I am sort of moving further in that direction as I'll be the person heading up charms and player cards going forward.
Okay. Speaking of player cards, that was actually one thing we missed to talk about in our last segment. I was just sitting down with Justin, where we're going to have badges and banners coming in as other things in the event. I'm super excited. But also, thank you for the Chrysalis collection. Oh my God, I'm a huge Chrysalis fan. But with all that said, like I said, I just sat down with Justin and they gave us a full rundown about the Twisted Masquerade when it comes to in-game earnables. But what can you tell us about what's going to happen store side?
Yeah, so just mentioned we have some really cool exclusive event rewards. We also have some exclusive store rewards for Twisted Masquerade.
Okay.
This time around, we have some outfits for the Lich Vecna.
Oh.
Who's wearing his Masquerade Lich outfit,
wow.
as well
He
as
looks
Baylor,
fancy.
who is wearing his Masquerade musician outfit. And man, I wish I could grow a mustache like that.
That's gorgeous.
It's magnificent.
Oh, it's beautiful. Plus, as always, all the masks and outfits from previous years will also be returning to the store. You'll even be able to find a few select masks in bundles for Killer and Survivor.
Yeah, I was
And
hoping
for
we
anyone who
could
may
get
have missed
something for
Twisted
Resident
Masquerade
Evil.
last year, we'll also have a bundle with
Nope.
rewards from that.
I mean,
Never
the
again.
makes
outfit,
sense.
the player cards, and the charms.
They could have
All
given
available in the store on
Ada
June 25th at
the
the start of the event.
mask that you
Okay.
can find in
So
RE4.
is there going to be any
True.
fantastic sales happening as well?
There might be. So we're going to be doing 30% off almost everything in the store for
Then I
outfits,
guess you'd have to make
released
something for
before the Five Nights at
everybody.
Freddy's
which
chapter.
is-
Okay.
On top of that, we'll be doing 25 to 50% off almost all the characters. And as Justin mentioned, if you find a character you like during the free trials, it's a great time to pick them up and add them to your roster.
Okay. All right. So, and as obviously, we kind of touched on it. Brace yourself. This is a bit emotional. But after this, the party will be over. It'll be our. I
miss
know,
it so
I know, I
much.
know, I know, I know.
We're
Let's keep
so
it together.
Don't leave me.
Why do you keep doing
But
this to
we're gonna
me?
be okay because before we
I
close
just
the curtain,
stopped
we've got
crying.
other things happening right before, right?
That's correct. On June 17th, we have our highly anticipated Five Nights at Freddy's chapter releasing, and along with it, the Five Nights at Freddy's collection. Now, as you know, Dave and Matt already revealed one of the outfits at PAX, but we got a few more to show off today that no one's seen quite yet.
Really?
But in case
Let's
you did miss
see.
PAX, first of all, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Second
Look
of all,
at it.
you would have saw that we revealed our Yellow Rabbit legendary outfit for our new killer, Springtrap. This is an incredible outfit from the Five Nights at Freddy's movie that features the likeness of Matthew Lillard, who played William Afton on screen before the Springlock accident. That really
that looks so good.
Springtrap. Now,
I
this
love
outfit
it.
has original voiceover from Matthew Lillard that was recorded just for Dead by Daylight, as well as some special voiceover and animations in the lobby.
Okay, I cannot wait to get my hands on that. But are there going to be other versions of Springtrap coming into the fog as well?
There is. We also have a Glitch Trap, a legendary outfit for Springtrap. Now, Glitch Trap first appeared in Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted, and its sequel,
at
Help
that.
Wanted 2, where he played a very crucial role in the story.
It's so
So it's
small.
amazing to have him as part of this collection. And as an added bonus, for both legendary outfits, when you unlock them, you will receive a portrait badge of those characters as well. So a Glitch Trap portrait badge for Glitch Trap, and a Yellow Rabbit portrait with Matthew Lillard's likeness when you buy that as well. We also have
Cool.
two very rare outfits for Springtrap, which are both taken from Five Nights at
More?
Freddy's Special Delivery, the mobile AR game, which are
Oh, wow.
Clown Springtrap. And
Oh, God.
Oh, that's
What the
no.
Clown Springtrap is
Oh
pulled
my gosh!
just
Yes,
straight from the
yes,
game,
yes, yes.
Just like Dance with the Memory. But we put our own twist on Toxic Springtrap to really make them our own.
That's
But
cool.
that's not all. For the survivors out there who want to show their love for FNAF, there will
That's
be Freddy
disgusting, and I
t-shirts
love
available
it.
for all original survivors. You can buy them individually or bundle
my
together
gosh.
at a discount.
That's gonna be great. I mean, I love like the shirt.
That is so freaking cool. We get a
This has
shirt.
cool casual look, and I think because of that, it's why I love the next collection you're gonna be talking about.
Casual is a great way to describe it.
Oh my
'cause
gosh.
this collection is simply called the Casual Collection. And as the name implies,
Casual
it focuses on
Collection.
streetwear and casual clothing, letting us add more variety to characters who've kind of been stuck with one look in the past. So, for example, a guy like Gabriel, who's often portrayed in space
Ooh, look how you look good.
Show a different side of his character.
Looks
You look
so
really
good.
good.
He's a handsome
Hello.
man, isn't
Handsome
he?
man.
So handsome. On top of Gabriel, we also have outfits for Tori, who will be taking a break.
Oh my gosh! Drax is going to be so excited.
You're very excited about, which is Talida, who is getting
Me
some
and
pants,
Drax were talking about
escaping
that.
her shorts and skirt purgatory that she was in for a bit there.
Talita mentioned. Yes, pants.
Thank you, Eric.
I love those pants too.
We love pants.
Pants.
Chat, spam pants emotes.
Yeah.
I don't know
Alright,
if those
I think I have a
exist.
new
And
Tori
finally, we
outfit.
have outfit for
Oh, I
Halloween as
love
well.
my blood moon.
And this collection will be hitting the store on July 2nd, right at the start of summer.
I cannot wait. Obviously, I'm very excited for pants.
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 But with that, I mean, especially because like with the pants, I get to be nice and comfortable while I'm hanging on the hook. I mean, I'm gonna be there anyway. So I
Yeah.
might as well be comfortable, right?
Just
Also, offered if
chilling.
you're on the hook with no pants.
Yeah.
Oh.
That would be pretty
Well
bad.
then.
But we also want the killers to be nice and comfortable as well while they're slaying and putting people on hooks, which reminds me why we're bringing up the Boulet Brothers collection, which will be joining the fog on July 8th, coming in with a very rare for the Huntress and a legendary for the Artist.
That's right. And since the artist's outfit is a legendary outfit inspired by the Boulet Brothers themselves, buying that one will get you an exclusive Boulet Brothers themed portrait badge.
Yes, can't. Oh, I'm so excited. So excited to get my hands on that.
Oh.
Oh.
No, it's
What did we just see? Hello?
Well, I mean, this is
Melody.
the best segue because we're going to be talking about a fan favorite returning.
Yes, that is right. The Waterfront Massacre Collection is back. And for anyone out there who doesn't know what the Waterfront Massacre Collection is basically Day at the Beach gone terribly, horribly wrong for our characters. This time around, we have outfits for Elodie, Aurella, Ace, and the Xenomorph.
Ooh, let's
So
go.
Xenomorph?
We're both getting some.
Oh
some-
God,
no.
no.
Please, no.
And then there's Ace,
No.
who's doing the same, but in
No,
more
please.
classic Ace fashion. As,
No, thank you.
something special.
Very special.
He's rocking a leopard print speedo, and it seems to be a very short robe. And don't worry, to all the people out there, I can hear you typing in chat. I can confirm this outfit is mix and match. So You go ahead and make those speedos a part of whatever outfit you like. If you want
No,
to put it with the top
please.
hat from the Alice in Wonderland collection, you can. We're not going to stop you. That's called fashion. Finally, we worked closely with 20th Century Games on
This
our
is
take
not
of an
happening.
aquatic xenomorph. It's inspired by kind of an anglerfish look, and we're really happy with how it turned out. It's very creepy, very cool, and
You know Frost
honestly,
is
would not want to run
happy.
into that while swimming.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And you can expect the waterproof
I love
Master Collection,
that.
as well as Ace's Speedo, to be available.
I need to
in the store
catch up on
July
the
16th.
skins too, because I don't
already
think I
know
think I need to get
a
3 of them
distinct
still.
group of people that were playing nothing but
I have
Ace
no
Visconti during 2v8, and they're going to be wearing the hell out of that
Yeah,
Speedo.
so these collections, we have Pants Gang and No Pants Gang now.
Oh my gosh, choose your size. But thank you so much for joining me on the couch to talk about all the latest collections that'll be coming into the fog. I'm super excited, and it was great to have you.
Oh, thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
It was so much fun.
My nose is all
So
stuffy
next,
now.
I'm going to be on the couch here with Eric for all of our Dead by Daylight creators out there to talk about the creator program. So stay tuned.
Ooh, it's time. Yeah, we're gonna
Did
have to
they?
make 3
They didn't
portraits.
show the Huntress, did they? They only showed Artist.
Yeah,
Yeah, they didn't even show us the Huntress.
we saw the 100% pack. That's all.
Yeah, but still. I want to see it again. Are you ready for this, Genova?
Mhm.
We're back.
Welcome
How
back.
about them pants?
And
Oh my God, Sophie!
That would be so funny.
Yeah. New
Somebody on
stream
Twitter
capabilities,
said,
the technology.
Dead by Daylight X Sleep
is
token
amazing.
with the Wraith cosmetic.
Just a
Oh,
quick note, I
yes.
did see people they thirsting for whatever the Hattie cosmetic is. We just didn't have an image for it. I'm sorry. So please just stay tuned a little longer. It's great. All right, now we're going to talk about the creator program. So at PAX a few weeks ago, as we've said a couple times, we did a big stream there. We did mention there's a new creator program on the horizon with more details on the next stream, which is this stream. So let's do that. It's today, so we've got more details to share. So the current creator program, as you probably know, is called the Fog Whisperers. They're an amazing group of people that I've gotten to meet a bunch of now. Very thankful for that. They're awesome. They're content creators on all things Dead by Daylight, and it's while many of those relationships are going to continue for sure, it's also time that we're going to open the door to new folks. This is something we've heard a lot of. How can I get into the program? So that's what we're going to start doing. So for starters, we're actually going to retire the name Fog Whisperers. So that crew remains in the stratosphere as the Fog Whisperer Pantheon. And we're rebranding it as the Dead by Daylight Creator Program. Yes.
Yes, but don't worry, for anyone wondering, most Fog Whisperers are still staying on with us as pillars of our new creator group. So do not worry about that. And on top of the new name, actually, the goal of our creator program is to make partnering with Dead by Daylight even easier and better for the creators involved. We're expanding the benefits attached to working with us, and we'll be welcoming an even wider range of personalities and content focused on the game. So if you're a creator and you've always wanted to work with Dead by Daylight, now is the time to make that happen.
Yes, so some benefits that we're being explicit about that Dork mentioned include opportunities like access to live events, like PAX we were just at, giveaways for your communities, and new ways to engage with the game, like getting regular updates on major releases before anyone else gets those updates, early access opportunities to stream and capture content, and even be featured in our content, like on streams like today. So we're going to be testing out something other than that, which is really cool because I get to work directly on it, called the Support a Creator program. It's a program within a program, I suppose. But your support a creator has become kind of a industry standard thing you might be familiar with. It's a chance for you as the community of a streamer or YouTuber or whatever, to support your favorite creator with your purchases in the game. You don't need to pay any extra, but you put in their creator code and they get a cut of the Oryx cells that you're buying in Dead by Daylight. So we're going to do a little pilot of that, see how it goes. If it goes
That's
well, we
nice.
do hope to roll it out wider and larger. Oh yes, it wouldn't be a creator subject without Twitch shirts.
We got to talk about Twitch shirts.
Whew, Twitch shirts. I wake up in the middle of the night thinking of Twitch shirts.
Hot sweats.
Hot sweats. Well, that's just me anyway. Okay, so Twitch shirts.
I bet.
Twitch shirts has become a big thing, as you know. It was never meant to become a big thing, but also wasn't well defined. How do I get them? Why does that person get them? I don't get them. And I think those are totally fair questions. And actually, we wanted to tie it to the launch of this new creator program, so it was very clear. Here's the guidelines to get into the creator program. You get into the creator program, you get a Twitch shirt. So that's the new way of getting the Twitch shirts. The old throwing them out randomly method has been retired for now, at least. So if you get into the new creator program, you will be rewarded with a lot of things, but also a Twitch shirt. So I think there's a note on that. So we're going to be granting the upcoming Twitch shirts for our next original Survivor to the creator program folks, and anyone who already has Twitch shirts, you get to hold on to the ones you have, but we won't continue to build your Twitch shirt collection. You got to get into the creator program.
Yes, so if you're interested in adding your voice to our community of creators, our new Dead by Daylight creator program website is now live, where you can go ahead and read the code of conduct and find out how you can go ahead and fill the form to apply to get yourself submitted into the program. So the link should already be pinned in chat.
Yep, and our creator team, which is kind of a sister team to our team, it's not us, they're going to be at TwitchCon EU, that's short for Europe, just from May 31st to June 1st in Rotterdam. So you can go chat with them in person and get more details, make sure that they become aware of you. What does that
Introduce
mean?
yourself.
What a weird, thank you, English. I've just learned English. But also a really cool thing we're doing at that TwitchCon is sponsoring the Horror Games Community Meetup. We attended it last year at TwitchCon North America. It was super dope. I got to go and meet a bunch of you cool creators. But now it's sponsored by Dead by Daylight, which is kind of fitting, so you can go and enjoy that and meet some of the team there. Okay, enough about creators. Let's answer some questions from the community. Let's do a Q&A. Nope, sorry. One more thing we're going to do. We're going to talk about the stats tracker I mentioned at the top of the show.
Yes, the stats.
Right? Right?
It's a live stream, folks. It's a live stream.
I'm going insane.
In a couple of weeks, we're going to be debuting a new feature that you guys have been asking for a long time, which is the official Dead by Daylight stats tracker. So for anyone who knows the game, a lot can happen over the course of a trial. You can boon a totem, get hooked. You could get a pallet stun, get hooked. You know, there plenty of things happen.
Including getting hooked?
And so, yeah,
Okay.
especially. So players have always wanted to know more information about their matches, and this website is going to be the key to getting you that information.
And what I should have done at the start of this, Emil, get ready. I should have said stats tracker and then air horn. So I'm going to try it. Stats tracker! Yep. Yes. We're in the 21st century. Stats are being tracked as far back as September 1st, 2020. That's just a limitation on the data that we have. So we're going back to September 1st, 2020. So you'll be able to see your own personal journey in Dead by Daylight. A random person just walked in the room. And all your milestones over that time. The team has been looking at it, actually approaching it like a fitness app, which I think is a cool approach for killers and survivors, which I think would keep you fit, actually, if you're one of those things.
Well, I mean, survivors run all the time.
Yes, yes. So it should be a fun way to track your personal progress.
Yeah. The Stats Tracker website is going to launch on June 17th, and you'll be able to access it either on desktop or mobile. So it's super simple to use, and all you'll need is a behavior account with at least one platform you play Dead by Daylight linked with it. You can also link multiple platforms with cross progression and combine all your stats from wherever you play the game. There's the general statistics page at the start where you can see your global stats like hours played, specific play time and matches, total matches, and more. You can also switch between the main stats for killer and survivor.
Yes, select one and you'll be able to see
That's
things
gonna be
like
so cool.
who your most played characters are, who your top characters are for each role. You can dive in each character and dig into details like emblems, average blood points earned, and even more than that.
Yeah, so we'll also be showing you super useful details like what your top perks were, both in terms of your pick rate, your kill or escape rate. You can also see which perks really drive the most success for you and the way you play the game.
Yep, and a few more things you might be wondering about. The site will be super current, so meaning your match history will update almost immediately after a match is finished in the game. So stats also refresh every 24 hours, meaning where to go. Yeah. If you link a new platform, which some people may be doing, it could take up to 24 hours before you start seeing those platform stats in the tool. And finally, it could change in the future too. This is a first iteration, as with most of the things we put out. First iteration, then we build on it. It's going to focus on 1v4 matches and major seasonal events like Blood Moon, Anniversary, Halloween, and the winter event. And as of now, custom matches won't be counted in your stats, but we're going to be looking at adding limited time events like Lights Out, Chaos Shuffle, and even 2v8 in the future down the road.
I can't wait with Chaos Shuffle for it to tell me how many times I got no mither. I would love that. And like with everything we do here at Dead by Daylight, the stats tracker is something where, as Eric said, we're going to be building on. So there's already a ton in there that we wanted to make sure that is available for players. But if there's anything you want to see added, feel free to let us know on socials so that we can let the team know and see about updating it for the future.
So keep an eye out for more info. We're very close to that release. It's actually going to release alongside this chapter, which is scheduled for June 17th of this year, by the way. So a couple weeks.
Okay,
So
so not
only a
next
couple
year.
weeks
Okay.
away. And as I tried to transition to before, why don't we do a Q&A?
So Q&A.
Yeah, let's jump to it. I don't know if we have. Do we have a card thing? We got 2 minutes. Okay. We're close to PTB time, so we're going to zoom.
Zoom.
Okay. We have 2 live streams in 1 month. 5 Nights at Freddy's anniversary. We know you've got. Oh, Jesus. Sorry, I'm reading what was written for me. Okay, here's the actual question. There have been complaints about cheats and hackers in the game at the moment. Is there something you can say about how you're addressing this?
The war against cheaters and hackers is a long-standing one, and that's for sure. And while it will always be there, there are definitely steps that we are taking to resolve this as much as possible. So during the upcoming months, you can expect to receive clearer game rules, a code of conduct, and regular updates on our war against cheaters, as well as strengthening our anti-cheat protocols. That's not all that we're doing, of course, but there will also be other things that we can't discuss. As we get more and closer to that, we'll be giving you more information on, and we don't want to be giving cheaters and hackers, roundabouts for our protocols.
Yeah, we can't give them that peek behind the curtain.
That's true. Yeah.
Cheaters are losers. Yesterday, the developer update
I
went
love
live
that.
explaining
That's
the
so
Go Next
true.
prevention. How does this affect survivor perks that allow you to get off the hook? And how will the feature prevent survivors leaving the game early, abandoning their teammates?
So Go Next, otherwise known as giving up on the hook early in the match. Firstly, it ruins the match for everyone involved on the survivor team and the killers, because sometimes they have things that they've got to do too. So frustration around this has been very high as of late, and with the test happening in the PTB, the chance to get off the hook early in the match will be removed unless you have perks or offerings that affect this. Deliverance and Wicked will stay the same, and their activation conditions have not changed. For example, playing for the hatch, so when 2 survivors are left and the survivor that is hooked will try to allow themselves to die faster so that the other person can get the hatch. That is still going to happen in the game as well.
Okay,
Right.
good. I was worried
With the
about
bulk
that.
spending option, so another awesome quality of life feature coming with this release, will we be allowed to choose what items that we can spend our BP on?
So in this iteration, you can actually choose how many levels you'll want to spend your blood points on. So you can't currently choose that very specifically. And it's going to be done automatically, and you will receive a pop-up that shows what was purchased after it's completed, and it's going to be very quick. So we will monitor the feedback on this and see how it performs, and then we'll make some changes moving forward.
Oh, this one's for me. What is Eric's favorite animatronic?
Ooh.
So people who follow me might remember I put up a picture that my son drew that I thought was Shrek. And then I posted it and people were like, that's Springtrap, idiot. And then everyone speculated Springtrap was coming to the game, which at the time I had zero knowledge of. But because of that, Springtrap for sure is my favorite animatronic because
That's
I
awesome.
lived through some stuff with that.
Stop.
Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I think for me, it would have to
So
be
when we play the
Freddy Fazbear.
PTB, we'd be like, hey, look, it's Shrek.
The classic.
Gotta go to the classic.
Okay, are you going to continue with the quality of life, in particular the anti-slugging fix?
We are definitely continuing with the quality of life features that we advertised earlier this year. So don't worry about that. With this PTB, we'll be focusing on the Go Next feature, bulk blood point spending, and extreme hiding. Then in the upcoming releases, we'll be focusing on phase 2 of the plan. So more information will be available as we head closer to that phase. But rest assured, this is still a very large focus for us. This is very important, and we want to be very careful with making sure we're addressing issues in the correct way the first time.
Final question, where is Maurice? If you're new to the game, Maurice is our beloved horse who happens to have 3 eyes and drips blood.
Yeah.
He's been missing from the game for a few weeks. And I think now is the time to let people know.
Yeah, let me know.
He took a vacation to Japan. I'm serious.
Without me?
Without you, without me.
Aw.
Pretty selfish.
Yeah.
If you want a glimpse into his adventure in Japan, you got to play that new Assassin's Creed game.
Oh.
Yeah, Shadows.
Ooh, collab.
That's all I'm going to say. Go find out for yourself. Maurice will return soon, I hope.
Please, come back.
So, that's it. You've listened to us yammer long enough. I don't have a time, but I believe we're already past time, so PTB should already be
Yes.
rolling out. Thank you for joining us for our 5 Nights at Freddy's official stream, and we hope you're as excited about the chapter as we are.
Yes, and from all of the requests, we know you probably are. So thank you so much for sitting here with us, and now it's time for you to go and play the live PTB and test
Yes.
drive Springtrap for the first time.
We've got tons more of amazing content coming your way this
excited.
year, and the anniversary is also just around the corner, so stay tuned for good stuff to come. And creators, we hope to hear from you soon.
Yes, so thank you everyone for the welcome back to stream messages on Twitter. This is a live stream,
Yes.
dang it. But we will be rolling out into the fog now, so you stay safe out there.
You
Good
too.
luck in hiding and hunting.
And let's get one
Thank
more air
you.
horn right now.
Let's go.
Thank you, everybody. Have fun.
Bye.
Thank you. I'm still in the locker, by the way.
Oh my god.